Hey guys, Hammer of the mid-season finale, Legend Tomorrow, Season 2, Episode 8, The Chicago Way, and I was definitely looking forward to this episode, to say the least. I really didn't know how this episode was going to be, and that's mainly because of the fact that, like I said, this is a show that doesn't really have a lot of storylines. Like, it definitely does have them, but it doesn't have them in the way other shows do, where, you have them throughout every episode. No, this is a show, like I said, that really is something different every episode, and when your show is so different every episode, I really didn't know what this episode was going to be. But overall, I gotta say, this was a pretty good mid-season finale. Now, was it perfect? No. I do think some aspects were very underwritten. I think there were some things in here that were really just there to create drama. But it definitely was more of a mid-season finale than The Flash. Definitely not better than Arrow's. Arrow is still the best mid-season finale I've probably seen out of any of the mid-season finales so far. But I will definitely say that I did enjoy this episode overall. I think it definitely was a highlight of the season. Some really good action here, but let's just get right into it because we really are jump-starting a lot of what's going on here. But we start off on a Chicago dock in 1927. We see Dark and Thawne approach Al Capone. They offer their services. Now, he declines sticking his men on him, but Thawne takes them out quickly, which that was pretty well done. That was pretty cool the way that was done, just seeing how strong Thawne is and everything. And they tell Capone they can help him face some foes coming to town soon, along with Malcolm. Now, Malcolm Merlyn has just randomly appeared out of nowhere. This is the thing that kind of confused me. How did Malcolm Merlyn get here? I know that they said that they were supposed to find him in the crossover, but that never happened. So how the hell did they get Malcolm Merlyn on board? That felt completely underwritten to me, and that kind of threw me off, but I will say that they used him pretty well, that I'm not too upset about him being here. It just didn't really make sense how they got Malcolm Merlyn. That was kind of weird, but on board the Wave Rider, Adam and Citizen Steel are sparring, and again, I really do love Nate's and Ray's interactions, and Sarah and Jax come in to make them stop, and they're reprimanding her like she's their mother, which I thought was pretty funny to see. But the pair leave, and Jax heads to the library where he finds Stein thinking about Lily, and Jax warns Stein eventually the team will find his daughter and try to get rid of her, but Stein says that she can be protected if her impact on history remains minimal and if she doesn't really interfere with anything, and Stein, honestly, like, you really do understand why Stein wants to keep Lily in his life. It's not because of the fact that, obviously he feels a connection towards Lily, but there's also the fact there was a whole aspect of his life that he now has that he didn't have before, and he's obviously very intrigued by it. He's starting to think of memories, he's starting to think of things he could do with her. He's never had a kid before. It's a whole different kind of aspect for him, and he doesn't want to take that away, and it's honestly really well done arc. I really do like the way it's done, and I like the way they're giving Stein something to do. We really haven't given Stein this much plot progression in season 1, so I like that he's given a lot more to do this season. I really am buying the fact of why he wants to keep her. I really am liking that. So the team gets called where Gideon has found a temporal tremor coming from Chicago in 1927, and I don't believe they've been in 1927 before, so it was kind of cool to see them here, but they all suit up and head there where Ray and Steele see Elliot and Ness arriving, and they deduce that maybe somebody has tipped off Capone that Ness will be a threat and decide to protect him, because we know that Capone does in fact go after Elliot Ness, and they think that he's probably going to come after him. So Ray follows Ness, but when a pair of Chicago police officers offer to accompany Ness to the FBI, Ray leaves him alone. It turns out the cops were actually crooked, and back on the ship that they discover that as a result of killing Elliot Ness, Capone has actually become mayor of Chicago instead of going down for tax evasion. Now, this was very interesting to see, the way that was done, the way that, now he's become, the mayor, and this is exactly what the Legion of Doom wants. They want to alter history in a way, so, they'll fuck with the legends, and I thought it was definitely interesting to see, and Nate figures out that Capone will likely be trying to kill Ness by drowning him off Dock 39, so they go stop him from being killed, and as they're trying to resuscitate an unconscious Ness, Dark looks on, pleased that the Legends took the bait, because obviously, this is clearly a distraction from something bigger. Like, they're not just trying to take out Ness, there's definitely more to it, and we can see that, obviously, they have more of a plan. We just don't know what it is, but on board the Wave Rider, it's going to take a while to heal Ness, so Nate decides to impersonate Ness and continue his investigation, which I thought was smart to do, and there were definitely some humorous scenes. Seeing Nate as Ness definitely was funny, but they decided they're going to take down one of Ness's clubs, and Sarah Jackson Stein decided to go undercover at the club, and I did love the scene where Stein was trying to figure out what to order, so he just ordered a club soda. I thought that was pretty funny. And seeing Sara in like that flapper outfit, I thought was just really cool. They really did do a lot of fun stuff with the time period in this episode that Legends tends to do really well, and I definitely like that. But on the ship, we see Mick in the meantime. He's completely miserable. He's not at all enjoying his time here, and he's not at all acting like himself. And Amaya doesn't really understand why. She's trying to get him to open up to her, but he won't because, usually he would be all for going to 1920s. Think about it, there's so much gunfighting and so much violence going on within that time period. Why would he not want to be in the 1920s? And we find out why. After a couple of drinks, he actually sees Len. And it was really cool to see Captain Cold back again. But I will definitely say that they definitely did, in fact, tease us with this. Because they made it seem like he was going to come back officially to the show, in this episode. But no, it's kind of just hallucinations that Mick is having. But he mocks him for working with the Legends and says he's there to set Mick straight. And I really do like this because you don't really see it just as Len. It's more of Len is his evil side. That is his evil side coming out saying, how could you become a hero? This is not at all who you are. And that's something that I think Mick has really been struggling with, this season, but he hasn't really been struggling with it this season. I feel like this season, he has in fact been an anti-hero, but I don't really know why this randomly came back. Like, why is he randomly worrying about being a hero again? I mean, this is something that I feel like he accepted in the, finale. Why is he all of a sudden worried about becoming a hero? That really did not make much sense to me. And to say that I don't think this is an interesting plot point. I think Mick being haunted by visions of Len telling him to be bad and not understanding why he turned good is a perfectly fine plot point. I think it works perfectly with his character. It's just that this late in the season, it doesn't really go with the rest of Mick's arc. Mick has not really questioned whether he's good or evil all season. He kind of made that choice last season. I don't really know why he's having these visions of Len, who he could just go back to in 2000 anyway. I know he can't right now, but we saw at the end of the first season, he can just go back to 2013 and then he can see Len, but he can't right now. But anyways, inside the club, the team sees dark, and before they can react, Thawne shows up, kidnaps Sara and Stein, and leaves the rest of the team looking embarrassed when Ness raids a bar that's already been cleaned out of its booze. So again, you see them making so many countless mistakes, and I gotta say that I'm kind of tired of this team losing. I kind of just want to see them win because they never really do. I want to see, that's why I like the Jonah Hex episode so much, because they actually won. The Dominaires episode, they won. I mean, in this case, they didn't really win anything, but on board the Wave Rider, the team argues about how to nail Capone because they don't really know how to take him down, and while plotting how to use Rip's armory to chase down the speedster, Mick finally tires of hearing them argue, and he decides to take charge. He wants to be the one in charge here. He's tired of them going back and forth, and in a basement, we see Sara and Stein. They're tied up, and Malcolm comes in to tell Sara that if she gives him the amulet that Thawne wants, that he will give her a life again, and he'll prevent the sinking of the Queen's Gambit, so she declines the offer, telling him the time is sacred, and it can't be changed to suit any, because, yeah, I mean, I like that we have this whole situation with Malcolm and Sara, because he essentially is the reason that she died. Remember, he told Thea to kill her, and that's why that whole thing went down, but basically, he tells her that he'll prevent the sinking of the Queen's Gambit, and she declines the offer because she doesn't want that. She already has seen what that life is like, and she's not really into it, unlike Thea, and that's something I did like here, is that, again, the effects of what happened in the crossover are, in fact, prevalent here. Like, you definitely do hear about them, and, Sara already knows what that life is like. She's not interested in that life, and, she tells him that time is sacred and it can't be changed to suit any one person's desires without hurting others. That there's going to be pitfalls along the way. Yes, we want to save everyone, but we just simply can't do that. And that's something that Sara has learned, and that's something I thought was really well done here. And as he leaves, she tells him that she'll take a nightmare that's a real over a dream that's a lie, and that's really what she wants. Because as good as that fantasy was, that's what it was. It was just a fantasy, and she doesn't really want to live in a fantasy life right now. And that aspect of this episode I thought definitely was the strongest, is the real over fantasy aspect, and that is exactly what Stein is going through, because when Stein praised her selflessness, she says she owes him for teaching it to her, and that's very much true. He taught her of the selflessness, and on a road outside Chicago, one of Capone's trucks is stopped in its tracks when Mick and Amaya shoot it up, and they steal it, and I do like seeing Mick and Amaya team up, and I know a lot of people are kind of shipping them after this, I definitely would not. Mick even said that they were just friends, so I really would not say that these two, they're setting them up to be together. I think that they are really just friends who have a lot in common, because, Amaya is very much on a vengeance mission, and Mick obviously is upset about what happened to Len, so they very much, I think, are just, this is more of a bond of convenience and less of a romantic pairing in the future. I don't really think that's what this is. So back in the basement, Sarah's frustrated by the thought of Malcolm changing time. He tells Sarah that even the best of them can create havoc, and he admits that he accidentally created a daughter, and Sarah's angry, and this is when she does in fact get angry. I really did love this scene here, because he admits that he actually did create a daughter, and Sarah's obviously angry, and it's not because of the fact he created a daughter, it's again because of the fact that she's not real. He's insisting that Lily isn't real, but Stein says that now that his memory's upset, she is real, and before they can finish their conversation, and Sarah does bring up a good point, that he is doing the exact opposite of what he told her not to do. Like, he told her specifically, don't try to change history, don't try to go after Dark, and he did the exact same thing, but you can understand why Stein did what he did, and honestly, for once in the show, you can understand both viewpoints, which is very rare in this show. A lot of times in this show, I don't really understand why characters are doing what they're doing, but here, I understood her viewpoint. I understood that Sarah doesn't want to live in a fantasy life, and she thinks that Stein is just endorsing that fantasy life, while Stein, he has a daughter that he's never seen before, and he's kind of intrigued by her. So how can you not want to, create a fictitious daughter, really? I understand why Stein did what he did. It definitely does make sense to me, but Sarah's angry. She's insisting that Lily isn't real, but Stein says that now that his memories have set, she is real. Before they can finish their conversation, Dark comes in, tells Sarah that they plan to torture Stein. They carry him away, throw him in a cell with Thawne, and he takes it a futuristic box, saying he's modified a lethal weapon to be only a pain-inducing one, so we don't really know what that's about, but at the destination of the delivery truck, Nick, Amaya, Ray, and Nate arrive to look for Capone's documents, and once there, Amaya finds, not Nick, once there, Amaya finds Sarah, sets to work freeing her, and Nate and Ray then steal Capone's ledger, and we see that Mick is then working his way through the halls, where he again sees Len, trying to convince him to abandon the team, and again, these scenes could be very strong, but it just didn't really make sense. I mean, why does Mick want to take action, and he's thinking about abandoning the team? It just doesn't really make a lot of sense to me why he's thinking of doing this all of a sudden. But the Legends then find Stein. They're getting ready to leave when Capone and his men arrive, and after a brief scuffle, the Legends do get away, but Capone smiles and Dark comes out to tell him how glad Thawne is going to be for his good work, and how he's going to help them. And back on the Wave Rider, the team is celebrating an apparent win, but nobody's really sure what to do next. We see Stein suggest that he should take a look at the amulet that Dark and Malcolm wanted, and that confuses Jax a little. They really don't know what they should be doing here, and after a quick conversation with Amaya, Mick sees another Captain Cold vision, and Jax sees the speedster doing his thing in the library. Sarah's in the library too, and accidentally reveals to Thawne that Stein had a daughter that might be leveraged against him, and again, why would you do this? I don't know why Sarah does this. Again, it just seems so out of character. This is the exact same thing she did to Dark, except that she's putting Stein's daughter at risk now. So now, with them knowing this, they're going to try to create that daughter from, stop the daughter from existing, and I don't know why Sarah ended up doing this. This just didn't really make much sense to me. It seemed like it was just there to create drama, and I don't know why they keep doing this with Sarah. This is not at all something that Sarah would do. 1 minute, Sarah's telling Stein not to alter history, but that is the exact thing that she just did, so now she's being a hypocrite, and if they keep going this direction with Sarah, I might get really annoyed with her, because some scenes I really do like her, and now I'm not liking her, and I really hope that they stop doing this so they're going to just get their act together, because Sarah could be a really good character, but when they give her decisions like this, it just doesn't make any sense why she does that, and it's a pretty big risk that I don't really know why she decided to do this. So when the rest of the team tries to get Sarah away from Stein to deal with the issue, Thawne gets wise, and after a short fight, Thawne gets free on the bridge, opening the cargo bay for Malcolm and Capone's men to come on board, while Ray and Nate are locked in a storage room, and elsewhere in the ship, Capone's men are firing off guns. Sarah tries to defend her position, but Ray and Nate show up to help out, and Mick stage a theft of the amulet, but uses it as a chance for Amaya to blast Thawne with the speed gun. So Sarah and Malcolm have this pretty cool fight on the bridge. Thawne gets away. He's about to kill Amaya, but his watch goes off. He decides to run instead, and Sara's about to cut Malcolm's throat, but he buys himself time by offering up Stein. And back at the docks, Capone and Merritt are about to toss Stein to the river. And I will say, this scene in general, this whole action scene, was really well done. Like, for mid-season finale especially, this was really well done. Sara shows up, she knocks Capone out, she reveals that she gave Thawne the amulet, and in a park, Ray and Nate hand over Capone's ledger to Ness, and we see that pretty much they were able to get away at this time. They did give him the amulet, and they did, in fact, make sure that, they did give Capone what he wanted. So it seemed like, in the end, they kind of won, but I did like the way they were able to get them away. But on board the Wayver, we see Mick is talking to Len when Amaya comes to see him in the lunchroom. She brings him a bottle of Canadian whiskey, which she stole from Capone's warehouse. She leaves, though, and Colt continues to mock Mick. And again, Mick tells Len that they're just friends and that that's all this is, and I just didn't really understand where this is going, and I really hope we don't end the season with Mick abandoning the team. It would just seem like such a backwards direction for the show, and I don't know why we go in this direction. Just really weird that they do that, but in the library, Stein and Sara talk about how some things are more important than history, which is why she decided to save him at a potential cost in history and why she'll protect Lily too. So I like that she decided to do this. I think it's the right thing to do, but it's not really something that she just told Thawne about Lily, so I don't really know how this is really going to work out. But either way, I do like the direction this is headed. I like that Stein and Sara did make amends, but I don't really know why she told Thawne in the first place. It just seems like such a backwards direction. I don't know why they did that, but the Legion of Doom assembled to put two amulets together. It's apparently a map that will bring them to the Spear of Destiny, this powerful magical artifact, and that's what they need. And to get it, they'll need Rip. And then we get to the ending. Now, this was very weird. We cut to 1967, and we see Rip, but he doesn't have an English accent anymore. He's directing a film that seems to be directly about him, and we don't really know what's going on there, but that is the way the episode ends. Very bizarre direction overall, but let's just get in this episode and where I think we're going to go from here. So overall, besides a few stupid decisions that Sara made, I did really enjoy this episode. This was a really well done mid-season finale. I think most of the plot points that we've been building to were in fact addressed in this episode. We had some great Ray-Nate interaction. We had some great stuff with Stein. The Stein stuff I thought was really strong here. It's just Sara telling Thawne what was going on. That didn't really make any sense to me. But let's talk about where this whole thing is going to go with Rip, because I have no idea where this is going. Look, I knew that Rip was coming back in the future. Whoever plays Rip, I can't think of his name right now, but Arthur Darvill, said that Rip was in fact coming back later in the season. We just didn't really know in what capacity, and now it seems like, he is in fact going to come back in some way. We don't know how, but he is definitely back, and how is he without, why is he suddenly without, why is he without a British accent? How'd that happen? What happened to him exactly? How'd he end up in this time period? I'm thinking this is the Legion of Doom's doing, because they said they need him, but we don't really know what that's all about, so I think that's definitely going to be very interesting, how he is without his British accent, because that's how we know of Rip. But if Rip is different than how we know him, I might actually like him more. My problem with Rip last year is that while I did care for his character, I always felt he was too much interfering with what was going on. Like, he always needed to be the one in charge. He was kind of a control freak, and I really hope that they kind of dial that back this season, because that is something that I don't want to see when Rip Brady comes back. I'm not really looking forward to that, but I do think this is an interesting direction to see where this is going to go. Malcolm coming back, I understand why Malcolm's back. They're not really going to explain how he came back, whatever. I don't guess they just randomly got him back. I don't know how, but either way, I'm looking forward to seeing where this is going to go with Malcolm. Are they going to get this, the thing they need? Are they going to end up getting that, what is it, the Spear of Destiny? Are they going to end up getting it? What does it really do for them? How's it going to benefit them? I think that's going to be very interesting. Let's talk about this whole thing with Mick, because like I said, I think this is a good direction to take his character. In last season, it would have been a good direction. If, Len would have died halfway through last season, which I honestly think he kind of should have, because the impact of his death, there's definitely been an impact, but I feel like it wasn't as strong as it could have been, definitely, because we know that he can just come back anyway, so that didn't really make much sense to me, but I definitely think that this is not at all the direction to take Mick in right now. I like that Mick didn't listen to Len in the end, but if he's really thinking about going back to being a supervillain, then the show is going to go 2 steps backwards again. That's something that the show constantly does. It always seems like it's moving forward when it goes backwards when it seems like it's moving forward, and I don't know why they constantly do that, and the perfect direction direction with that is Stein and Sara. You had a really interesting plot point here where I understood Stein's point, then I understand Sarah's point, but then she goes and tells Thawne everything, and I don't know why they went in this direction with her. It just felt so backwards from what they were trying to do. And I don't know if the writers just do this because they don't know where to end plots and they just want to create drama, but I don't really like that. I do like that she knows about Lily and that she's going to protect her, but her telling Thawne, I don't really know if that helps Stein at all, really. I mean, how are you going to protect Lily if Thawne's going after her? That just, there's so many things that they can do, and I don't really know where this is going. I do like the fact that Lily's staying on the show because I really like her character. Granted, we didn't see her in this episode, we just heard about her, but I do like that Lily's staying around. I like that Sarah's in the know, and I like that right now it doesn't seem like there's anyone set to destroy her, because if they end up destroying her, I'm going to be really pissed. I think it's a good direction for Stein's character to go in, and I'm interested in seeing really where that's going to go. And I'm hoping we get to that time period where we see how Lily was created, what happened to Clarissa, because there still are a lot of things I'm very confused about, and I'm looking forward to seeing really where they're headed with that. I love the team dynamic of Ray and Nate. I think these two work really well together. I definitely really like what we saw with them. They were a lot of fun to watch, definitely. And I hope that we continue to see more of them just broing out, because their whole stuff, I think it's just a lot of fun to watch. And Nate, in general, I've really enjoyed this season. And I think that's something that Ray does really well. The show very often kind of makes Ray third wheel, and they kind of just make him, you know, kind of like a liability and just a disposable character. But I do like the way that Ray is getting something substantial to do. I like the way he's working with Nate. I think it's just totally direction to take his character in, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing where they're going to go with this, because right now I'm into it, and I'm hoping that they do stick with this, because I like where they're going with this right now. The whole situation going on with, like I said, Amaya and Mick, I do like overall. I think that's going to be very interesting. Overall, guys, I've enjoyed the season. I really have so far. I think this is a well-done season. I have no idea why the show is moving to Tuesdays at 9. I think that's a horrible time period right after The Flash. That's just too much superhero in one night, honestly. Like, I can do one superhero show every day, but I can't do Legends of Flash, then Legends Tomorrow. That is a horrible time period. I don't know why they're doing it that way. I think it's better when it's more stretched out, but either way, guys, I did really enjoy this episode. I thought this was a fun episode overall. I definitely thought this was a well-done mid-season finale. I thought the 1920s were done really well. But let me know what you guys saw this episode. Left your thoughts on it. Do you enjoy did you enjoy the season so far? Where do you think the season's headed from here? Because I honestly don't know. But that's it for this video. Hope you all enjoy it. We'll see you guys in my next, which will be for a movie review, and we'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.